The goal! Not PK. Yeah. Well, good day, footy fans, and welcome to the Velodrome, aka Edwardstown Oval, for Filming Footy's coverage of the Breakthrough Mental Health Foundation Division 2 competition. The A grade are having the Division 1 are having a week off, so we're coming down to see what's happening in this division. Two captains out for the coin toss at the moment. We'll go through that. My name's Phil Hurden with Lockie Gould. Lockie, what's happening at the coin toss?
Well, let me get the binoculars out and I'll tell you. As we have a look, it looks like Modbury are going to win the toss and they're going to be kicking towards the right-hand side of your screen.
It was interesting, the captain there, Josh Holyoake for the Towns, looked more interested in trying to collect the coin, while the other captain, Darcy Pisani for Modbury, was happy to take the toss. So they're kicking to the southern end. Been an interesting day because looking at the flags, no one was kicking the other way, so maybe Modbury coming home with the breeze at the end. Been a fascinating day so far here. In the C's, Modbury won their 49th straight C grade game. 28-10, 178, Edwardstown 2-2-14, a 164-point margin. That went to script. The B's did not. Modbury came in 6-6, 5th position. Edwardstown 1-11, dead set last. And it was the Towns of Edwardstown. 8-10-58 defeated Modbury 3-6-24. Second win for Edwardstown. That's going to hurt Modbury's finals chances. A 34-point. It wasn't even close. It was emphatic. Lockie, will lightning strike twice? Can Edwardstown, who have struggled in Div 2 this year, do in the A's what they just did in the B's?
Well, I mean, potentially. Footy's a funny game, Phil. Anything can happen. It'll be interesting to see what this Edwardstown outfit can put towards. I guess, in terms of trying to get a victory. Modbury, of course, on the opposite end of at the opposite end of the ladder, absolutely flying at the minute.
8-4, looking to build percentage for a chance at the double chance. We'll talk about that as the afternoon progresses. 4 changes for Edwardstown. Coming in, Josh Holiday, captain Josh Holyoake. James Uren was an in, he was a laid out. Aidan Carney was the other in named earlier in the week. And just recently come in, Ethan Gurney on debut. The outs, Sam Hurley, Liam Rathman, Scott Rosenzweig and Kevin Werner. Modbury, just to emphasise the point of how well they're travelling, unchanged. Something you don't see much at this level of football. Weather conditions, we'll cover that as we go along. It's overcast. We're expecting some rain at some point, but nothing in the vicinity. A slight light breeze. It's a pleasant day to be out and about. We're about to get underway. Your caller to get us going. It's Lachlan Gould.
Here we go, Rucks in the middle. We are away, ball tapped down. First clearance goes the way of Modbury, bouncing down, collected by Edwardstown. We're going to come charging back the other way. They loop through hands and out into the wing. The one-on-one was there. The tackle was almost late in the end by Wood. And they're stopped in their tracks, Edwardstown. Although Mead was trying to run away, but the umpire wasn't convinced. It's going to be a ball up.
Number 86 in the helmet, Stanley Menadue. Players know, you want to be called, need to stand out. Kick inside forward 50, the pack go to it. At ground level was Ryan Llewellyn, former Bulldog and Redleg in the Sandful. Forces a stoppage. So chance, could the Towns score first? They did not score a goal all of last week. Here's a chance for their first in about 5 quarters. It bounces through, but not before being touched. But the Towns do strike first with a behind. They're 1, Modbury a 0. We've gone 1 minute of the first quarter.
Well, here we are, 1 behind, as Phil just said. To Modbury's yet to score. Edwardstown would probably love to stop the game right now as Mead takes the kick in.
That siren.
Mead down the wing. Big pack forming over the top, unable to hang on then. Fends off one, that was good work. Collected at the back of the pack in the end by Murphy. They move it forward down the wing, bouncing. Collected by Miller. And looks like they are just passing it around, trying to get an entry inside forward 50. Ball's drilled in, and it's a fantastic grab.
Josh Miller, number 12 for Modbury, made his A-grade debut last week and kicked a goal after playing in the under-17s for 11 games this season. spent some time with the Central District's under-8 side. So it is Modbury with the ball. This looks to be a shot on goal. It is Oshutai. He's missed. Modbury 1, Edwardstown 1. Trying my best BBC voice. Okay, Premier League. Or Euros even.
Yes, Euros. Looking forward to that on Monday, actually. This ball is about to come back into play. Ball towards the wing. Brought down. No one able to grab the mark, though, as they are diving in on top. And the umpire says that one's going to be a ball up.
The Modbury come in 8-4. 2-game winning streak over Adelaide Uni and Old Ignatians, hoping to get a third straight win this afternoon.
Punched away at the last moment as the ball sent straight back to which it came. No one able to grab the mark then, as off the deck Edwardstown tried to get it up. Cassini's there. He was worried off it though by his Edwardstown opponent. All almost cleared out in the end. Looping run, running through. Good work there. Span picked it up. Back towards the top of the 50 line. Came charging in the end, but was unable to take the relieving mark as Edwardstown get out.
Looking in the direction of Ryan Scoville. Repelled by Modbury pretty quickly. Another inside 50 mark taken by Dale Holm. Holm comes in. Also debuted last week. Well, I think he debuted last week because his Play HQ records, and if I say Play HQ, that will create various reactions across the local football administrating community. But by my records, he played 13 reserves games last year, kicked 16 goals, played 10 reserves games this year, kicked 8 goals. He's aimed this one to score his first. He's arrived to the, near side. Another behind Modbury 2, Edwardstown 1.
Yeah, near side to him, the opposite of the broadcast side, as they start to go through. The hand pass came in the end from Beckham as ball's dropped. There it is. Okshuto got it forward, but a good mark was taken as well by Armat. So it was kind of just a high up and under footy, but it worked out in the end. And they're going to go back to line up for a shot.
So Armat, Malachi Armat, 6 goals last week, 5 the last time they met, has 37 for the season. He's right in the mix for the leading goal kicker.
Armat on the approach, and that one has missed, this time to the far side. So Modbury are 3 behind, Edwardstown are 1.
I was going to use the BBC voice again, but that's all right. 5 minutes gone. It's a point fest here at the Velodrome. One of the more unique settings across the Adelaide Footy League. A bit different. I went to primary school less than a kilometre from here. It looks much improved than when I was at primary school, which is just as well because it was a while ago. Reasonably new club rooms here, and very modern and swish, and a nice little grassed area on the western wing where the finishing line to the cycling is, for people to enjoy that. And
not too far away from the public transport as well. Woodlands Park train station is just that way. Yes.
Yeah. Castle Plaza Shops not too far away.
Lovely area of the world down here in South Plympton, technically, as you said off the top of the broadcast field. Oh, unloaded towards the top of the 50, punch away at the back as everyone goes in trying to win the footy. It's extracted in the end by Carney. Oh, it's just on the deck, picked up in the end, trying to come charging through, unable to. There is Ahmad off the ground, he's clever, that's the first goal of the day. Just a little soccer, and they are now 1-3-9, Edwardstown 1 behind.
First goal to Ahmad, 38th for the season. Played a bit of football in the NTFL for Nightcliff during the summer break, or footy season up in Darwin. And another one. I have a feeling, Lockie, that might be his first. Came at the 6-minute mark. I have a feeling it may not be. The amount of ball he's getting already early, the amount of inside 50s Modbury are generating, I suspect it's not going to be his last.
Well, I've just had a look at my paper, and I'm definitely going to run out of room for Malachi Armat in terms of scoring.
Might have to make a separate column.
Back in the middle we go. Ball comes down. At the back of the pack collected. That was really clever. Modbury taking their time as they look towards the far wing. Player after is Miller. He collects. Is the hand pass across in the end to Wood. Wood goes inside forward 50. Big pack forms. No one able to grab onto it. Trying to charge his way through then. Player at the back is Shukio. And there's a good mark taken in defence by Edwardstown.
We knew that was a name that we had to check beforehand. He's already had about 6 touches. As Edwardstown, they have the ball. Not a lot of pressure bringing up defence. They're going to bring it down the middle, puts up the mitts, takes the mark. That's Zach Spilsbury. There should be a line there somewhere about Spilsbury taking a good grab. I'll have to think about that. He spots it out to number 86. This is Mianju. Slips catch attempt by the forward. Goes, he was taken high. Going to be a shot on goal to the Towns. I think this is Josh Holiday who comes back into the side. Did not play last year, has spent time with the Bloods West Adelaide reserves. This is West Adelaide's Sandful zone. Did not play last year. First A-grade game for the Towns in 2019. He's kicked 3 goals for the first goal in a long time for Edwardstown. And he's missed. If you didn't know, last week Edwardstown went and played and scored 0 goals 6 against Flinders Park. Fortunately, Flinders Park kicked 17-10, a 106-point defeat. It said the last 3 games they've lost by a total of 384 at Goodwood, 110 here against Edwardstown, and I said last week 106 points at Flinders Park.
It was Mead to Hearing, and then Hearing's long ball towards the wing, asking his big men to fly. Ball's going to go over and out as we come back in.
It probably looks like on camera there's not a lot of room between boundary and concrete. Mm-hmm. There is.
Yep.
So have no fear, they do have a runoff.
Oh, towards the outside of the pack collected as Edwardstown look to go back inside forward 50. Pack forms, good mark taken at the back by Llewellyn. Llewellyn looks, takes his time to assess some options, Phil.
Yeah, Llewellyn's going to be pretty key with the Hawks' defence. Tea Tree Gully June. It's quite interesting when I was going through the Modbury players, how many had some time at Tea Tree Gully. Because the 2 clubs, 1862 is when they started as one entity, played their first 162 years ago. Older than the Port Adelaide Football Club, just throwing that in there. And then they sort of de-merged, created 2 entities, and both claim that 1862 moniker, as probably they should. It's in the pocket for Modbury. Some wonderful solo work by the Towns defence. They're just keeping hands off. They better get rid of it because they might force the turnover. There it is. And there's your goal, Josh Miller. That is his 2nd goal at A-grade level for the Hawks. Last year he was playing under 16s.
Wow.
In the Sandford Juniors. Played under 17s this year, as mentioned. Debut last week. That is a name to note.
Certainly is, doing some good things. Particularly quite a good finish there. So something to note for sure in terms of shining lights for Modbury, of which there are so many. Also shining light from Modbury, they're wonderful sponsors. A few shout-outs we'll do today for them. DVC Projects, Mawson Lakes Mazda, Zoom Zoom, Modbury Hotel, and Pronto United Finance. Well, at the back of the pack, collected as they just pass it round by hand. They might overuse it, although they might have found a way out now. Kicking up dust is Mitchard. Mitchard collects, found a teammate in the end and got a good mark from Shaw. Shaw, well, he just stops. Drills the footy out towards the leading player. Nearly chopped off in the end, wasn't. As they start to pass it around, well, that hand pass didn't quite have the intended effect, as now it is with Schiller. Schiller's kick momentarily cleared. Here comes the return fire. Shot on goal by Connor Wood is for a 6-pointer. That's his first goal for the season. We've got 11 minutes. Modbury, after a slow start, first for the 6 minutes, have kicked 3 goals in the last 6. They're starting to put a gap on Edwardstown. It's the Hawks 3-3-21. Edwardstown, when will they kick that first goal?
they're on 2 behinds.
Yeah, they've had their opportunities, but of course, as you mentioned, what's it been, nearly 5.5 quarters now without a goal.
Yeah. Connor Wood debuted in 2022, spent some time with the Norwood under-18s and is a Modbury junior. I mean, you're talking that northeast suburb, Golden Grove, Modbury, Teacher Gully, huge junior numbers, majority in Norwood zone, a few in the Central District zone.
Yeah, fantastic for all those clubs to get access to that talent as the ball bounces inside forward 50, collected at the back. It was Piscini who was waiting. He found the mark through Buckerfield. Buckerfield loads up, long ball towards the wing. Ball might go out, doesn't, and then does in the end trickle over. And out, boundary umpire's going to throw it in front of the true centre wing position.
Actually a more pleasant afternoon for footy than I thought we might have experienced when you saw the weather forecast come out. And I know I'm creating an issue here when I say no rain. Guaranteed we'll get some. But yeah, and a slight breeze that I don't think really is probably favouring the southern end a little bit. That's what Modbury went with the toss, but certainly that's not the reason for the 19-point lead.
No, it's certainly not a 3-goal advantage here. And the umpire says we're going to ball it up. Back up we go. Rucks down, collected in the end and given across. As the ball goes inside forward 50 for Modbury, or near enough, collected, nearly given to the running man there in Mitchard, but missed him, and the door was open for Edwardstown. There's a good tackle. It's Mitchard there again, making sure his direct opponent was going absolutely nowhere.
I want to mention some of our sponsors. Our game day sponsor, Archie's Footwear, over 50,000 5-star reviews, worn by the best players in the Adelaide Footy League, because that's usually our Div 1 Best on Ground award, along with the iconic Dartfish beanie, to only be worn in the hottest of hot places. I should say the coolest of cool places, shouldn't I? That would make a lot more sense. Also, the scoreboard today, the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard. Don't I need some of that? 0 carbs from Hahn Ultra. And of course, Dartfish Footy Stats. Where would we be without Dartfish Footy Stats?
Of course, we would have absolutely no idea what's going on. It's back inside. Go Edwardstown to extract the footy. The hand pass was good, and now they do start to link up through the centre of the ground. The smother, though, that was important. Modbury moving it quickly as the ball just kind of bounces and sits. Collected on the outside. Shot at goal. Is coming back, but he's missed in the end. The player in hearing.
And that was Buckerfield Jake Buckerfield, who created the smother, then for Oshudo to send it forward. They seem keen to take their shots fairly wide at the moment, Modbury. I did know when I saw one of the games on replay, that is not a pocket out there. It's very much a North Adelaide Prospect Oval kind of pocket. It takes a pretty hard 45-degree turn about 2 metres away from the behind post, much like the one here actually in our corner, because of the velodrome that is around it. Well, Modbury put up a bit of a wall. Edwardstown got it out to about the centre. Now it's through some hands. It was marked by Knightley. He got it onto Darcy Pisani to the top of the square. They're lining up. They're lurking. Who's got the lucky lotto number on this one? In the end, the Towns have brought some defence, and it will be a stoppage. I reckon that's about 20 metres out from the Modbury goal on the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard. The Hawks are 3-4-22. The Towns are 2 behinds. By my maths, Lockie, that's a 20-point margin.
Yep, that's pretty good math, is it? Speaking of pretty good, that snap round the corner was absolutely fantastic from Verity. And that is a 4th goal for Modbury, 4-4-28, as the Towns are 0-2-2.
So, yeah, Verity with the goal. I'm glad I got that margin in because it didn't last there very long. And Modbury are certainly on their way. 4 goals in the last 10 minutes of action. If you've just joined us, wondering how these two teams fare, well, the Hawks are 8-4. They've had a pretty good season. Did hit a roadblock. Probably their biggest disappointment was a 10-point loss to Foss Camden in round 10. Their losses have been by 15, 18, 17 and 10. So the 4 losses all by less than 4 goals. They rebounded from that Foss loss that put them at 6-4 with a 49-point win at Adelaide Uni, a 27-point win at Modbury against Old Iggies last week for an 8-4 record. They're tied for third spot with Athelston, and that's the battle at the moment. Athelston are playing top team Rocks today, Rostrevor, which means a chance for Modbury with a good win here. Assuming Athelston don't have equally as good a win, then maybe even they'll jump into the top 3 with 5 games to go.
Massive opportunity as Mead takes a mark on the defensive side of the pocket. Ball towards the top of the 50, collected in the end as Modbury again charged forward. Ball slapped away, controlled. There's Verity, bumped over his own teammate and then snapped a goal and missed. And my apologies, that was Hearing.
Yes, there's probably an Edwardstown player checking their hearing after being knocked asunder. Really good, don't argue there. So it's now 27-point margin, 4-5-29. The Town's 2 behinds on the home Zero Carb scoreboard. Here come Edwardstown. They get the first kick. They've done that well. It's almost like Modbury said, we'll concede the first one, but we'll put a wall around the second one. Let's see how they go here. Yep, intercepted by Connor Wood, who's already got a goal himself. And Modbury will reset. Umpire says, oh, what the heck, play on? I've got the umpires here. Remind me to give you the umpires at the next break and play. But it's with Buckerfield. Bit of a worm burner kick inside 50. Chance for Edwardstown to get there. Oh, there's a swing without the ball. Umpire says that's okay because he did touch it. Umpire letting it go. Chance for the Towns to work it through hands. So they've got it to this part of the field A-okay. But I'm struggling, Lockie, to remember the last time that Edwardstown had an inside 50.
Buckerfield, the long ball inside forward 50.
Umpires, sorry. Field umpires, Simon Farrell and Tyson Usher. Boundary umpires, Wayne Steer and Daniel Milne. The goal umpires today, Daniel Harold and Chris May.
Of course, all of them doing a fantastic job. Appreciate all their hard work. As well as up the line, the big fist came. It was good work from Mead.
Oh, send it to bounce.
Yeah, that's a golden fist, isn't it?
They haven't given it one to a Div 2 game for ages.
I know, it's been a while. Was about to come in. So Mead doing the defensive duties. That got the ball out. Rucks re-engage. And is trying to come charging through. Off the back of the pack. Edwardstown get it forward, collected, and now they're sprinting. There's your inside forward 50, Phil. It's towards the one-on-one. At the back, it's good positioning. It's Holiday. He's working hard. Gives it back across. He's got reinforcements arriving quickly. Ball bouncing, and it's going to be a ball up. Although, I think there's someone on the grandstand that was pretty confident in holding the ball.
When do you not go to a football game when there's a fan knowing a goal's on the offering, not be confident it's holding the ball? So it's a throw-up. It's 30 metres out. The Towns are threatening to get this all-important first goal. And it's just a battle for the football at the moment. Modbury have got it out a little bit. With the clearance was Pisani. That's Wyatt Pisani. But, of course, no one touched it going out of bounds. That's last disposal rule. And one of the things with the velodrome you'll notice here, you bring your deck chair, you sit in front of the fence. It feels like that you're in elite company because most other grounds you can't sit inside the fence. Here you can because the fence, let's just say, is a long way back. And Pisani's wasted that, unfortunately. It's been marked by Jacob Hahn. He's in front of the Hahn Zero Carb scoreboard, showing Modbury ahead by 27 points.
Ball back of the square. Up towards a good mark taken in the end. There is Verity. He then turns, sets it up, asking a lot there. Late contact, that was a mark, and it's going to go the way of Ahmad again. Marky probably got him in the back. It was really take your pick from the umpire there.
Yeah. Well, Ahmad probably would have set himself the goal of kicking 2 goals a quarter, get to 8, give himself a shot at 10 late. I'll see if I can find the goal kickers list.
Ahmad lines up, looking to add number 2. He'd love a bag of 10, I'm sure. As on the approach, he's missed this time.
Could be critical. So he sits on 38 goals. Obviously, we don't know what the others have kicked or are going to kick today. Max Teague from Flinders Park is in second spot on 38. And Jake Johansson, remember Jake Johansson? Eagles? A bit before your time?
A little bit before my time, I think.
I am getting old. Jake Johansson with Salisbury North, he's on 39. So pretty tight race there. 2 goals between first and third. If Ahmed has a big day today, he could well hit the front.
Well, he is hoping for his sake that he does have that big day. Edwardstown, I'm sure, will have other ideas, though, as they come charging down the wing. The ball might have been a free kick. Everyone stops and looks like it's going to go the way of Edwardstown. So very quickly given across now as Holyoake, the captain. He got it. Now the ball is sent towards the top of the 50 line. Big Pack forms. Good mark taken, though. It was strong in the end from Llewellyn, who gave off quickly.
So Modbury away working quickly. There's Matt with a one-on-one contest. Got a hand, just tapped it forward. Couldn't get clean possession. He's got clean possession now. He sights the goal umpire and delivers a strike. That's his second. Modbury's fifth. They're 5-6-36. Edwardstown 2 behinds on the Hahn Ultra Carb scoreboard.
Yeah. Well, that was an absolute fantastic goal. That's
He got rid of his opponent pretty easily on that occasion. I reckon he was outnumbered 2-1 as well there at one point. Of course, those watching on replay can just go back and just see if what I said was correct. We have to do everything from memory. What just happened?
Oh, yeah, no, that was absolutely fantastic. That wouldn't have looked out of place in an AFL game, I don't think, Phil.
Not at all, except probably the defenders might have kept their footing a bit better. But certainly, I mean, the pick-up and the snap, that was elite.
Back in the middle here, Div 2 footy in the Adelaide Footy League. It's fantastic to have your company here on Filming Footy as the ball rolls out, collected. Cassini. This time he's had a long shot and might have copped some after,
great
so
pass.
might bring the footy back.
Pity the whistle went. Oh, he's FAD, he's going to get anyway. But he can't say he wasn't the closest to the ball given he was marking it as the whistle blew.
Yeah, it's probably...
Just got to work out who this is. Now this is Verity.
This is Verity. I've liked his game so far. He does some nice things. I think he's already got one. He does have one. Kicks on its way. And Phil, he's got 2. Yes. Fantastic work as Modbury kick away. 6-6 plays 2 behinds. A 40-point margin.
One goal. Verity. What have I got here? Last time they met, he kicked 5. When they played Edwardstown. That, by the way, was a 111-point win up at Modbury on that day. Verity actually played some league for the Roosters and mixed his juniors between Modbury and Tea Tree Gully. As I said, I would have thought Modbury and Tea Tree Gully, like moving from one to the other, would have been just not the done thing.
Geelong to Hawthorn almost.
Well, yeah, or Collingwood to Carlton or something like that. But as I said, quite a mix, and as players bob up, we'll try and share their journey. One thing Play HQ does allow us to do is normally check their records back. I got one guy I've checked all the way back to their under-7s game. So I might tell you about that. If this game allows and the way it's going, Lockie, it just might.
This time Fassini back inside forward 50. Ball's bouncing out in front, collected. Trying to fend off his opponent again. His arm at that time it's going to be holding the ball. Not going to get rid of Atkins that easily.
Yeah, look, for Edwardstown, it's looms to be a long day. I like the enthusiasm they're playing. I don't see a lot of heads down, or they're having a go at the game, but they're just outclassed. And there's certainly a lot of debutants and youngsters in the 2 Blues side this afternoon. As that was Stewart about to get the hand pass out, umpire's blown the whistle, saying that was a throw. It's going to be Towns' ball. 25 gone, 6-goal quarter all the way of the black and gold. The brown and gold. So probably a minute or 2 left, you reckon, Lockie, of this first quarter. As again, that's Carl McNaughton who took the strong grab. Umpire decides there was a push out. Will be Towns' ball. They're going to go inside 50.
So that they do. Big Pack forming, fisted away. All comes down. Is this the moment now for Edwardstown? The snap at goal. Oh, it's going to land in the top of the square. Tried to come charging through. That might have been high. He threw his head back. He's got the free kick. And finally an opportunity for Edwardstown to break this goal drought.
And just to make sure of it, obviously Modbury were not too awake to the drought that was on here and the pressure that comes from that. And that is Josh Holyoake, impact in the side. The captain breaks the drought. And that is Edwardstown's first goal in a long time. And it's good that they're on the they're on the board with a major this quarter.
Yeah, if you say each quarter goes about 25 minutes, that's nearly 125 minutes of football they've been forced to wait. So they'll be absolutely delighted to get on the board.
Indeed. Maybe just takes a breath and savours the moment. Because who knows, it might not happen for a while. Do want to mention our sponsors. I've talked about quite a few of them. Also, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic doing the interchanges today. Where's our boundary rider? Our police credit union.
Right here.
Also, Sports Interactive Classic Clashes programs to fit. Born to Build with the goal of the week. Bianco Construction's the mark of the week. And 9 News Thursday Night Live is at Edwardstown this week.
Ball towards Knightley. Knightley then gets it across towards Miller, and now they start to charge up the wing. Do Modbury. Linking up through hand passes. Miller goes inside forward 50 towards the top of the square. It's there for Armat. Was it off the deck? Yes, it was. So he did get there before the ball crossed the line, and he ends up with goal number 3.
So this is where we need to help each other out here, Lockie. Who am I missing with it? I missed a goal. Oh, Hearing?
Woods, 3 to Armat, 1 to Miller, and 2 to Verity.
2 to Verity, that's it. Thank you, sir.
Of course, the lone goal kicker for Edwardstown is Hollyoak as well.
Hollyoak, by the way, Glenelg under 18s player, Edwardstown junior, all the way through. So hasn't switched junior, or what we call them, community clubs. Good that he got a chance to spend some time at the Bay developing some skills. So quarter time is imminent, an 8-goal quarter, pretty much 2 scripts, 7 goals to 1 in favour of Modbury. The upset was in the B grade where Edwardstown got their second win of the season. C grade went the way of the Hawks, their 49th win at that level in a row. Edwardstown with the clearance, it's pretty much out the centre wing, falls in the laps of a number I don't have, which is Heaney, but it is marked by Ryan Llewellyn. Modbury's defence has been pretty good. They've been able to read where Edwardstown's going and they've been able to get there first. He's in front of our Han Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard, shows Modbury up by 40 points at the first break. At this rate, they're in for a big day. Struggling to get it out of defence though. This sits with Mitchard. He got it to Jaden Mead onto Wyatt Pisani, and that mark is intercepted, and here come Edwardstown on the rebound.
Here come the Town as the mark's taken by Knowles. Knowles then goes and turns and puts it inside forward 50. It might be a downfield free kick. And Edwardstown, after being held goalless last week, are going to have an opportunity to kick 2 goals inside 1 quarter.
Not quite back to back, but 2 goals in the space of what would be about 6 minutes.
Holiday lines up on the siren to end the quarter off, and there we go. Big goal there for Edwardstown. So it's a good goal to Holiday, and they desperately needed that one, did the Town.
So a quarter that had just about everything, including not 1 but 2 Edwardstown goals. You're with the on the Han Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard. Modbury 7-6-48, Edwardstown 2-2-40, and a 34-point lead. With Lachlan Gould, Phil Hurden and Harry giving you all the great pictures on camera. We'll take a break. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks, Tough Filming Footy. you enjoyed your quarter-time break. It was a big one for Modbury, 7-6-48, but even possibly a bigger one for Edwardstown. They kicked 2 goals after going goalless last week. The goal scorers, Malachi Armat for Modbury with 3, Wood, Miller with 1, and Verity kicked 2. Singles to Holiday and Hollyoake for the Towns. Second quarter, here we come with Lockie Gould.
Here we go. The Rucks go at it as the ball rolls towards the back, and it is in the end cleared by Schiller. Schiller nearly sent it inside forward 50. Modbury though coming back hard the other way. West flies over the top, unable to hang on. Ball goes inside forward 50. Just a high bouncing footy. Did well to work his opponent under the footy then. Did the Modbury player, who then flicks it across. And there is Shutio as he sends it inside forward 50. And Verity, did he mark it? Umpire says no, play on.
There's no way on a day like today that was a mark. But it's like he's looking at his hand saying, he made the football disappear. But Edwardstown have worked it out to the wing. Scobble will have it. It's in Modbury's hands though with Jake Buckerfield. Onto Wood. Wood centres the ball. He's got Wyatt Pisani. We'll bring it down. A rare time we've seen the ball in the clubhouse corner. The lead inside 50. Leading out to it. A lot of play. Angus Miller in defence. That's a rebounding back to Luke Beckham. End over end kick. It went perfectly straight. Can't use any bending jokes there. Back to Modbury. They'll clear. Well, they should clear, although it sort of fell in the middle between Wood and Buckerfield. Thankfully it spills out of bounds because I can take a breath. Yeah, with Phil Hurd and Harry on camera. And your caller is Lachlan Gould.
Here we go. About to get ready to go again. Ball comes back in. And although umpire says that might need to be thrown back, rolls. And we are going to have a rethrow. Or I guess a redo.
Bit more oof.
As back in it comes. West that time on the ruck tap down. And there again, there is Buckerfield as the ball rolls off. Ooh. And went sliding in the end, did Beckham on.
Trying to get a touch, which looks like he managed to do, because they did come off the foot, and I would have called that a disposal. It wasn't like a fumble situation. Throw in. Edwardstown have some numbers. Comes back to the ruckman in Aidan Carney. High kick inside 50. Lovely grab taken by Llewellyn. Just stretch the mitts out, and sure enough, he's got Darcy Pisani, true centre half back position. He's got a runner. We had to stretch for it in Jaden Mead. He collects it. His kick though lacked a little bit. It's going to be a turnover. So not much in the way of scoring. In fact, there's been no scoring in the first 2.5 minutes, Lockie. But it could be first shot on goal in anger will belong to Edwardstown.
Yeah, it's going to be Josh Holiday there who took a good mark falling backwards. So it will be interesting to see whether or not he can convert. Already got one on the day. And they're a long way back here, but, you know, a couple goals here. The voices start to get a little bit louder in the ears of the Modbury players. He's on the approach, Phil. Kick looks pretty good. Goal umpire barely had to move. And there it is, goal number 2 for Holiday.
Wow, not only do they have a goal scorer, they have a multiple goal scorer. And getting them back, well, they probably kicked. I got this right, like I reckon they've kicked 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, that's by my math too, yep.
So watch out, 28 points the margin. Do you want to mention again those Modbury sponsors, DVC Projects, Mawson Lakes Mazda, the Modbury Hotel, and Pronto United Finance. The Modbury Hawks, thank you for your support. Don't forget, next week Modbury will be at home. A big game against the team also looking to play finals, the Goodwood Saints. Their first trip to Modbury in probably about 8 years.
Yeah, it's going to be massive, of course. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Phil, but I think Goodwood came down last year from Div 1.
They did.
The ball goes.
It was a shock to everybody, especially Goodwood.
West snaps towards goal, and there he is leading out of the goal square. It's Armat again.
Just to correct myself, last time Modbury were in the same division as Goodwood Saints was 2018. Modbury did spend 2 years in Div 1 in 17 and 18, then 4 years in Div 3, 2020 to 23. Got the promotion in the 23, and this is their first year back in Div 2 since 2019.
Armat. He's got 4 on the day. He's doing a lot of the damage at the minute, is Mackay Armat.
Yeah, Malachi, I think, is looking to run out of fingers by the time today is done. And with 4, well, depending on what's happened with those other goal scorers as mentioned, he's certainly overtaken them before you take into account what they have kicked today. A bit of a, shall I say, a steadier for Modbury?
Yeah, a little bit.
34-point margin.
It almost did feel like they were coming a little bit there, the town. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not it stops them, Phil.
So it's not just the win that's important, it's also the percentage. As I'll mention that at the next break, as the tap went to Jake West. There will be another stoppage. So Athelston and Modbury are in 3rd and 4th respectively. Athelston's percentage 56.49. Modbury 56.41. So 0.08 of 1%. Probably a goal, if not 2.
Yeah.
And I said Athelston are playing the top team Rocks today. As Edwardstown go forward and take the grab, I'll get you to put the 2x4s. I reckon that looks like Holiday again.
Yeah, if it is, he's certainly been doing some damage. We'll just wait for him to turn around so we can confirm that is him.
How's that? Like I picked it all the way from the other corner of the moon here.
You've done well, and you didn't even have the binoculars up.
Didn't have the Vinox up either. So Holiday, chance for the Edwardstown's 4th. From 35, puts it up and has kicked it to the near side, and that takes a huge bounce off the concrete. That poor kid went to chase the ball. He got it, but in the end he only has to hand it back about 2 metres. Modbury ball, they'll be bringing it out of their defensive area.
Mead, and he saw the lead in the end from Hearing, but he did well. Took it nicely, did Hearing, as he looks and switches towards the far side. Bouncing through, collected.
Keep going.
As the crowd get involved behind us. Trying to just burrow their way through, but...
8 visions of us being surrounded by quite a few today. Thankfully not the case.
Lovely balcony to call from.
It is a glorious spot. You've got the hills in the background. Reminiscing a bit here back in my old neck of the woods growing up. And it's actually an interesting complex here. You've got the tennis down one end, you've got the footy, and then you've got the bowling club. The bowling club is huge. And this sort of complex looks after a bit of both.
Yeah, I did see that on the drive in. Looks like a lovely area to spend an afternoon, does the Bowls Club. Meantime, almost collected in the end as they go charging through. Big kick up towards the wing. West flies, West takes. Fantastic mark.
Mate, I'm sure it was harder than the way he made that look.
Yeah. He made it look so easy, almost like he had super glue on the hands. Towards the top of the 50 they go. Passini flicks out towards, this time it's Buckerfield. Almost looked like he played on. He did play on according to the umpire. So just kind of dobs it inside forward 50. Edwardstown were there to chop it off. Going and diving back in with Stewart. It emerges. Armat again. He's got another one. That's number 5 on the day.
Yep. Unstoppable. Set shots, snapshots. He's kicking them from here, there and everywhere. He's got 5 of the 9. The Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard. The Hawks of Modbury, 9-7-61, looking for their 9th win of the year. Edwardstown, well, they discovered a bit more offence than they had last week, 3-2-20. We've got 8 minutes in this quarter. Edwardstown have kicked 1 goal straight, and already Modbury have kicked 2 goals won to take their 34-point lead and extend it out to 41.
Back in the middle. Rucks resume battle, and it's tapped down in the end. Passini, he might pick it up, he does. Gives it across, and now they've got, well, they had a way forward. It stopped in the end. Ball just bouncing around in the centre. Passini goes in, has a couple hanging off him. Ball rolls forward now for Modbury. It's all going their way. Darting inside forward 50. Guess who? He's there again. It's Armat.
So, I'm not sure if he's been on him all day. Liam Atkins, who didn't play footy last year, he was their 3rd best last week in their loss at Flinders Park. He's got the duty at the moment, and it's just an almost impossible assignment. This is for a 6th goal in a half a footy.
Armat approaches number 6, and he's going to add 6 more points to the scoreboard with his 6th goal of the day. 10-7, plays 3-2. That's on the Hahn scoreboard.
Yeah. So 10 goals, and we are, it's really unleashed in this quarter already.
The mic falls down, but that's all right, we fix it.
3 goals in the first 9 minutes. At this rate, they're going to kick probably 10 for the 9 or 10 for the quarter, having kicked 7 in the first. And yeah, look, Modbury get the ball in space. I know where they're going at the moment. Just seeing if they've changed opponents. No, they're going to go. Edwardstown are going to go with what they've got in the middle. Second stoppage is going to continue. The other games today, by the way, in Breakthrough Mental Health Foundation Division 2, Athelston third hosting Ross Trevor first. That is the big game for sure and certain. Almost as big, Goodwood Saints 6th, Flinders Park 5th for a finals berth. Old Ignatians 9th, Salisbury North 2nd is probably the one, along with this one-sided contest this week. And the other one is a huge one relegation-wise. Adelaide University 7th, Foss Camden 8th. When you look at the ladder, Edwardstown looks zip and 12. They're 4 wins from safety with 6 games to go and about 14%. But you've got Adelaide Uni, Foss on 4 wins, Old Ignatians in relegation on 3. That Adelaide Uni Foss result is huge to get a bit of breathing space away from 9th position.
What about the two before?
Special comments, courtesy of our balcony crowd, is Oshudo with the kick towards the hot spot. Matt Lurks, he was pushed in the back. Yeah, I saw it. He was out of the contest. Well, push in the back was there. Just Josh Beckett was the infringer.
Replay.
But you're going in a marking contest, you're going to get. Yeah. Anyway. Not sure what you're picking up at home. We're certainly picking up a bit.
Yeah, no, we're getting lots of advice from the people behind us.
This for a Super 7. I reckon he had, 3 at quarter time?
Yes, he did.
And he sprayed one. So he's kicked 3 goals in 11 minutes this quarter. 3 goals, 1. And it's 10-8-68, Edwardstown 3-3-21. That is on the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard.
Yes, a 47-point margin. It was 34 at quarter time, and Edwardstown kicked the first goal as well. Flying high, no one able to grab it. As in the end, on the outside, inside forward 50 they go. Pack forms. Punch down. No one able to grab it. And Mitchard was there, but a good tackle late as well. Entry was from Mead in the end. Ball goes up, tap down. Edwardstown at the back, clear the footy. There's a couple though there for Modbury as inside forward 50. It goes off the boot, just a swing. Hit it on the half volley almost. Mitchard, he's got pace, but then he loses his footing. And he called it a trip. So that's gonna come back.
I suspect that's because that's probably what it was.
It looks like he lost his footing, but maybe it was a trip in the end. It's towards the top of the square. Down and waiting, and another one for Modbury.
Verity, I would suspect. Turn around, sons, we can call your name. Yep.
Verity, in the end, gets the 3rd goal of the day. The first in this quarter for him, and the 11th for Modbury. They're 11-8-74. It's Edwardstown 3-3-21. And that is, of course, on the Hahn scoreboard. I can't wait to get in. Apparently there's a quiz night at Edwardstown tonight.
Quiz night tonight. Who's going to win the quiz night? I heard that the bowling club had put a table in and they're out to beat you.
We'll take their money.
Okay. Yes, it's going to be on for young and for old.
Yes.
With the Edwardstown Footy Club quiz night tonight.
Can't wait to get in and have a Hahn as well.
A Hahn Ultra Zero Carb. Got to keep you looking young and healthy, Lockie, whilst you are still young and healthy. I'm just a lost cause. 53 points the margin. That is just 1 point shy of 9 goals. As expected. There's been more goals than I thought there would be at both ends of the ground.
Keep going.
And played in better conditions than I consider. It's starting to get a little bit darker, and I can see to the area that I think the weather is coming from. It's becoming overcast.
Yeah.
Not sure if that is necessarily rain, although there has been that forecast today, but it doesn't guarantee it's going to happen. We're in the middle, and Modbury, Lockie are away.
They are down the outer side wing they come. There it is, a good mark, Hearing. And he certainly made sure his teammate heard his lead as he goes towards the pocket. there's a big fly. It was in the end from Shaw. And it might work out in the end for Schiller. Schiller has to go backwards, and the kick is just cleared, but the only player back there is wearing a Modbury.
Number 58. That was number 58, Ethan Gurney.
Thank you.
On the late inclusion on debut. Verity's lurking. Edwardstown have the numbers for the moment. Can they get the clearing kick? They can through Zach Chapman. Looking in the direction of Luke Beckham. The hand pass looking for West. Missed the target. Going in well. Attacking the football was Isaac Ram. The home crowd want the home free. In the end, umpire says my ball. We'll reset for a ruck contest. Modbury's corner of the centre square, the club room corner. It's the Hawks by 53 points.
They are absolutely in all kinds of domination, Modbury. But here come Edwardstown, and they've kicked it out towards the leading target. Good mark taken. Guess who? It's Holiday. Well, it's him at one end, and it's Ahmad at the other at the minute.
Holiday missed last week. I'm not sure the reason why. Could it have been? No. But all eyes on him now. This is for 3. 3 of Edwardstown's 4 goals if he can nail it.
Holiday. His approach was good. It looks pretty good. And there it is. They do get the 4th of their day. 4-3-27. Plays Modbury's 11-8-74. Holiday's 3rd. His 2nd in the 2nd quarter.
Good to see that. I mean, that was a beautiful counter move. All the play had been down the Modbury end. That was a fairly open forward line, and the delivery was impeccable. So, said for Edwardstown today, it's about finding some small wins. That's one of them, and good to see that they're keeping their part of the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard ticking over every so often amongst the Modbury goal parade.
Absolutely. Back in the centre we go. Oh. Comes down, just socket towards the back by Modbury. Ball might be collected here, isn't? It's just on the ground at the minute, although it is wrapped in at the last moment by Stewart. He has to throw it back to the umpire. 2 ruckmen, well, they do battle, although one of them was dispossessed in the end, the Modbury player on that occasion. As they start to link up again to Edwardstown. Collected in the end with a good tackle with Miller. And now they might be away. Ram, he dropped the footy, opened the door up then. They do want holding the ball. They're not going to get it. It's going to be a ball up. Thrown aloft. As the rucks resume. Cassini this time. High footy. There is Ahmad. He's there, but it was taken away from him at the last second, and he can't believe it. Ball's going to come in the forward pocket here. On your filming footy broadcast. Because we are in Edwardstown. Ball comes in. Tap towards the back, and it goes out in the end. The player in Spilsbury walks it out, and we're going to have a ball in.
Talk about numbers for Modbury. They were looking for a high number of goals and a big winning, but their biggest number, 8.7 million.
They might not win by that much today.
Well, not the margin. I'll explain why 8.7 million is important to their club at the next break and play. Right now they're threatening. Coming in well is Miller to lay the tackle. No reward coming. That hasn't pleased the locals. 8.7 million is the project announced during the week by the City of Tea Tree Gully for new modern club rooms for the Modbury Hawks at the Modbury Oval. Big building, 2-storey, including as Edwardstown clear. Nice grab taken in the field of play. Going to include unisex change rooms, function space, umpires room, upgraded car parking and many other amenities. 8.7 million. The work scheduled for completion in the second half of 2025. And if you go on Facebook to the City of Tea Tree Gully, you'll see some concept plans. So those watching that are fans of the Modbury Hawks, a new HQ is on its way, hopefully in time for the 2026 season. I know it sounds a long way away, but it'll be here before you know.
Absolutely, it will be. And That's an interesting move from Modbury as well. I mean, they're fighting for finals, and of course, at the end of the final series does come promotion for two teams. I'm sure they'd love to spend a year in Div 1 before those club rooms come along. But meantime, back in the centre of the ground, there's a good tackle. Crowd behind us wanted ball. Mays was the tackler.
Well, we saw Golden Grove time it nicely, get into Div 1 when their Harpers Field facility. We're going to be out there with the Div 1 stream team in 2 weeks' time. Looking forward to that. We're going to see a lot of Golden Grove because we're at Broadview for Broadview and Golden Grove next week. But here, it's Modbury going forward. Matt playing defence, lays the tackle, trying to Fossick for the football. Taking it was Jarvis for the Hawks. He's tackled. So we've had a little bit of a break in the goal fest at the moment. We're into time on by 8 seconds. The Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard, Modbury 11.874, Edwardstown 4.327 by my maths. That's 47 points, just under 8 goals. Grabbed by Hahn, and Edwardstown through some quick use of hands. Lockie heading towards half forward.
Yeah, Knowles tried to send it up towards his teammate. In the end, though, there were too many Hawks around. A whistle's gone. Might go the way here of the Edwardstown Football Club. It does go the way of the Edwardstown Football Club. So, Menadue, inside forward 50. Punched away at the last moment. Edwardstown still lurking. They're dangerous, umpire says. Holding the ball. So now, Modbury, they're going to come towards the near side now. One bounce, draws the opponent, did clever, gave it across towards his teammate, and now Mead, he's got the footy, running through, handball across, inside for Armat, he's there, punched away at the last moment, strong defence, it's snapped, it's missed, and the Edwardstown fans let him know about it.
Good pressure. Good pressure. Anybody else want to put a comment to it? Angus Miller with the good chase and pressure, forcing that missed shot. I said Edwardstown will take all the small wins today, add that one to their tally so far. 47 points, they're trying to handball at our defence, not something I'd usually recommend. I reckon they really should try kicking, that's better. Maybe it's not better. It's found Atkins, he picks it up. They've got numbers here, they just seem to want to take a bit of time getting it out of here. They do now. Everyone can breathe again. Josh Beckham, straight as to his teammate in Josh Schiller. Back to Beckham. He kicks it to an open space. Who is the question asked? I think we'd agree that's a worthwhile question. Marcus Knightley for the Hawks picks it up. That's where the Edwardstown players were. Been a push in the back, and I reckon that's going to be a Modbury free, and because of some discussion, it's going to be a shot inside 50. Might be Mitchard, I reckon, might have it.
Ball now drifts towards the top of the 50 line. Collected. There's Edwardstown now. Extract and turn. Now the mark taken in the end by Scoville.
Tick.
Just wait. Then the umpire says play on, so forces him to go. Inboard, it was a dangerous kick, but it's going to work out. The handball was quick, still going slow. And now it is with Holiday. He's got it a long way from where he usually operates. Drops it in towards the hot spot. Needs a mark, knocked away at the last second as Knightley finds Mitchard and the Hawks relieve.
Yeah, a little bit of action happening in the middle. There's a number 88, I'm not sure if it's 58 maybe. As we have got a free kick going to Edwardstown. Not too many A-grade games I've called, Lockie. I've called others that have had a number 86, 89. I feel like I'm calling American football with those kind of jersey numbers at the A-grade. But back to this shot, and just trying to pick up the player who has it. It is possibly XL, number 7. Actually, correction, it's Bradley Knowles. Better get that name right because I got to put a goal next to it. And Edwardstown have kicked 5, and that Bradley Knowles is his first goal in Edwardstown colours, coming from the C grade of Port District last year. Also played some juniors at Rosewater, but his first goal for the Towns, something the locals here on the balcony enjoyed.
Yeah, a 41-point margin, they just won't go away. Edwardstown, just whenever it looks like the Hawks might absolutely shut up shop, they just seem to seem to find a way. They get a goal. Door's open. I'm not saying they're going to necessarily walk through it, but the door is open for them if they can string some goals together.
Well, this quarter, Edwardstown have kicked 3 goals, 1. Modbury have kicked 4 goals, 2. So a Hawks win, but not by as much as you would have expected.
Ball bouncing. There is Dawson. Dawson gives the hand pass across. The football nearly collected in the end, and now Modbury do have the ball. That's towards the boundary line. As the umpire see that, it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Deliberate doesn't exist, but that would have been last touch.
I suggest so, because deliberate does not exist.
Ball this time unloaded off the boot of Scovell. Punch came and over the boundary line it goes.
So 25 minutes gone on the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard. 41 points the margin. It was 34 at the first break, so not when you get too much in discussions of English cricket, but is this a moral win for Edwardstown?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe? It's all about expectations, isn't it? You know, Modbury would have come here, they won last time by 100. Edwardstown have been losing by average of 100 their last 3. So that would have been the target.
That might be your moral win if it stays under 100
and 34 points at quarter time, they're ahead of schedule. Now a little bit behind. Of course, might be a couple of minutes to Modbury slot one, but there's also a decent chance here Edwardstown could put one together as well, Liam.
Yeah, they'd absolutely... No, you're right, mate. They'd absolutely love a goal here as the ball bounces through the legs. The intended target there to defend Modbury, and now they do just put the football on the boot and hook it towards the boundary line. Edwardstown really pressing their case here for another major. Ball goes over.
So throw in the southwest corner. I think that's where the weather's coming from. Some of those clouds do look a little threatening, but I can't see any rain with them. I'll have to check the bomb radar at half time and see if we need to prepare for precipitation.
Well, I've got a story in a minute that I'll tell you.
Ryan Scower. I was expecting a knock-knock joke, but I'll take a story. Scoville's shot falls in the hands of Modbury. They'll clear momentarily. We need a break so Lockie can tell his story. Maybe it's a chance here because Hearing has taken him. Oh, he does the zigzag. Well done to the big man. Love that. Verity lurks. He takes the mark. Can't tell your story, Lockie. It's quick movement from the Hawks. They've got the loose player. He played on. Umpire's got a decision to make.
You are joking.
Dale Holmes is going to get the big benefit of the doubt. Plenty of suggestions. Thankfully all family friendly at the moment. It is only the second quarter. And on the siren, it's not going to go to Ahmed. It's going to be in the lap of home. And he will dob it.
Absolutely.
For his first. That is his first for Modbury. In Modbury colours at A grade level. Just his second game for the Hawks. He got a big break. That'll happen in footy. He made the most of it.
He certainly did. Wow. Interesting little position to where this game's sat now at the minute. I believe that's the 12th goal by my account.
Yeah, they just haven't updated it yet.
Yeah, so
maybe in protest.
12-8 plays 5-3. It was certainly a lot.
We're not going to update it until the goal umpire tells us wrong. I'm with you. I've got 12 as well. There we go, being updated. So it is half-time here at the Velodrome, Edwardstown Oval. You were Lockie Gould, Phil Herden and Harry on camera. Modbury Hawks, 12-8, 80, Edwardstown 5-3, 33. Hope you're enjoying the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy. welcome back everyone. Hope you enjoyed your half-time break. Well, it seems to go quickly. It is all Modbury. If you put this in the context of a normal game, the Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard, 12-7-79, Edwardstown 5-3-33. It was 34 points at the half, 46 at the main break. So I suspect a few goals to be had to the end that Modbury are kicking. The third quarter is underway, and you're with Lockie Gould.
Away we go. All slapped down. And we're absolutely going nowhere. We're going to have another ball up.
Got some scores from around the grounds that fascinate me. It's Adelaide University leading Foss Camden. The winner of that can breathe a little bit easier about relegation. They lead by 11 points.
Ball back in the centre of the ground as one of the players out there is absolutely driven into the dirt. Modbury emerged with the football. Ball towards the top of the 50. Bouncing inside. Collected in the end as he tried to fend off, but it was a good tackle in the end by Ethan Gurney. Of course, we mentioned he's on debut, and I think he's won himself a free kick there.
Yep. Well done, Ethan. He quickly kicks it across on a safe, effective kick. So they're moving it nicely here, Edwardstown. It'll be interesting to see, and they've brought it back in to Jack Horgan on the defensive 58. This is where Modbury have set up their numbers, create the contest, but well done. I reckon that's Angus Miller. He's got a mop of hair that can't really be missed. I reckon he laid the tackle to force the stoppage. Here comes the cavalry. Interesting tactic by Spilsbury to get rid of his opponent. It seemed to work, and it's just my vibe at the moment, but I would suspect might be umbrella time for the crowd on the outer. Coats are being put on, umbrellas are being reached for. It's starting to get a little dark here. No lights on as yet. There are lights here. They're evenly spread around the ground. We'll see if they're on by the end of this game.
Yeah, well, I was looking at the weather last night, actually, and it does say it is supposed to rain pretty heavily towards this afternoon, towards the end of this game. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not it does. If it rolls past, it was Gurney, you got to kick in. Now they emerge with the football to Edwardstown. Inside forward 50. Slapped away. Last moment was good defending in the end by Knightley. Llewellyn's there. And the footy is wrapped up and we're going to have a ball up.
Some of the other scores. Now, Goodwood Saints playing Flinders Park at Goodwood Saints. It is Flinders Park leading by 26 points. That would give Flinders Park a 2-game buffer in the 5 if that result held.
Yeah, that's an interesting little moment. Speaking of interesting little moments, that's a snap on goal. And that's a pretty good finish too. Edwardstown, much to the applauded to the grandstand, get themselves a goal. And it is, in the end, off the boot of Horgan.
They worked that up rather methodically. When there was a contest, they forced the stoppage. Not much room for the snap, but Horgan very efficient there. One of the best players last week. He's played every game. He's been in the best 6 out of 12 games. That might help him. He actually is the veteran. He started in 2014 for Edwardstown. Now, if you don't know the Edwardstown story, I think they've been around since 1919. They've been in many leagues. When I was growing up, they played in the Glenelg South Adelaide Football League, which became the South Western Metro Football League, I think, which became non-existent. They played in Safa in the late 70s. They ended up playing in maybe the amateurs, I'm not sure, but they ended up in the Southern Football League, where they were until 2015. They entered the Adelaide Footy League in 2016 in Div 4. I'll tell you the rest of the story because Modbury are going forward. Matt is lurking. Got the ball, went to ground. They're circling, and that's going to be my ball. So very quickly, Edwardstown, they got promoted in 2019. 3 years in Division 3, 21 and 22. Got promoted to Div 2 for 2023 season and this season. But with a zip and 12 record, they're heading for Div 3 again next year.
Ball back, fired towards goal by Cassini, and juggling the mark. Almost collected, although opens up, and the snap on goal was really clever in the end. I think Holmes kicked the impossible. That's going to be number 2 for him.
Well, he kicked the goal. He's kicked 2 in a row, because I'm pretty sure he kicked the goal, his first for Modbury A grade on the half-time siren. And he's kicked the first of the third quarter. So 2 now for him for Modbury A grade. His footy records and players career only go back to 2022. which surprises me because I'm pretty sure you don't quite get to A grade level in Div 2 having played the game for just 2 seasons, but I'll stand corrected if that is the case. So first blood to Modbury, that definitely seems to be the scoring end this afternoon. I'll give you that tally in just a moment.
Ball now towards the Edwardstown forward 50, collected, tried to work his way through, gave it across in the end as the long ball towards the top of the goal square, almost collected, and then very cleverly disguised through for a rush behind. That was McNaughton doing the job down there for Modbury.
So quite possible there's been 8...
the wording, so I think we're good on the copyright front. As gonna line up. Everyone in silence as the drop of the ball looks pretty good. There's his handful, Phil. And they go to 10-4, Modbury 7-7, a margin now of 35 points.
Well, with a goal to go, Edwardstown have their second highest score of the season. And again, they are just 10 points away from tying their highest score of the season, which was against Adelaide Uni, where they scored 11-8-74. Unfortunately, Uni scored 17-15, 117. But what is it? They're winning their share, and this will look, even in a loss, if losses can be deemed respectful, this is looking that way at the moment. Of course, we'll see if they run out of gas along the way. 25 and a half minutes gone. Interesting one now is, have they actually won the quarter? Locking this. What did you have? What did you have Modbury at half time?
I had Modbury as 12-7.
Well, they may not win the game, but right now Edwardstown are winning the quarter by 1 point. I'm sure they'll have no idea about that. And in the scheme of things, you don't get half a premiership point for winning the quarter. But you take your wins when you're zipping 12 when you can. Like tackling the leading goal scorer on the day so he can't get another shot on goal. And getting a defensive clearance. Here come the Towns.
Here they go. It's been a painful season at Edwardstown. They'd love to win a quarter though, as the tackle's laid. That's an excellent tackle.
No, it's not a slam tackle. Great start, poor finish.
It looked alright. It wasn't in the
Until he was
end.
planted face first into the turf.
Ball given across.
Well, Dawson does as requested.
There's choice advice. Menadu's there. Ball bounces away from him. Back out to where it came. Edwardstown fighting desperately. Despite the scoreboard, they're certainly never giving in. And the ball's going to end up in the hands of Dawson. He just waits, takes some time. He's got the fluoro boots going, so that's always good to see.
Can't miss him.
Big fist came in, and now they're trapped it again. Almost did Dawson, left it behind. It was able to be collected by Beckham.
Come on, guys, run it, yes!
Now they might just be able to get out of danger here as Llewellyn's kick out towards West. It went past him. It's still collected though by Modbury. Coming in. Oh, that was all kinds of class. Bassini just doing what he does best. Ball bounces and rolls past. Edwardstown are there first. No one. It gets towards the boundary line and
Can Edwardstown win the quarter? They've got the ball, 27 and a half minutes. It's a 1 point quarter. Edwardstown in front.
it's been a long season. They just need something.
And they're going to win the quarter because there's the timekeeper's bell and there's the siren. They may not get the premiership points.
Well done, guys.
But they won the quarter. They kicked 5 goals, 1. Modbury kicked 5 straight. And what was our margin? It was 46 points is now 45 at lemon time. We'll take a break. You're lucky good, Phil Hurd and Harry on the camera. Hope you're enjoying this one, the Breakthrough Mental Health Foundation Division 2 of the Adelaide Footy League, brought to you by Filming Footy. Welcome back on what's a pretty interesting afternoon in the Adelaide Footy League in the Breakthrough Mental Health Foundation Division 2. Here with Filming Footy, Div 1 have the week off, so we're coming out to watch some Division 2 action, and there's plenty to be found. 27 goals, that's 9 goals a quarter kicked so far here. Edwardstown have kicked 10, their second highest score if they don't score in the final quarter. And they won a rare quarter by 1 point. Modbury 17-7-109. Certainly they're going to go on and win. 45-point lead at the last break. Edwardstown 10-4-64. But Lockie, look, games like this, you sort of cheering for the underdog. That's what Aussies do. And there's been a bit for the locals to cheer about.
Yeah, I mean, obviously being up here, it's been interesting to get the true reflections of, I guess, the town's fans, and we could hear them, obviously listening to the call up here, and it's fantastic to have their company, but we could hear them after the siren went, they're like, we've won something, we've got something. It's been a very, very slim pickings in terms of seasons, and last week proved that, obviously, rolling out and kicking 6 behinds. It's a very different team this week by all accounts.
Yeah, 4 changes, and those 4 changes have brought about 5 of those goals. Let me tell you what's happening in the rest of the division at around about three-quarter time. Athelston and Rocks, it was Athelston by 4 goals at half-time. Rocks have come back, it's Athelston by 4 points. They have started the final quarter. Goodwood Saints and Flinders Park in the battle for a finals berth. It was Flinders Park by 26 points at half-time. It's now Flinders Park by 48 points. 8-goal lead. That's going to give Flinders Park a 2-game buffer. And the Goodwood Saints that we probably disrespectfully to the division thought, they're going down, they'll bounce straight back up, may not make the finals. Here's the shock. Old Ignatians and Salisbury North, they're at three-quarter time. I'm looking at it live. I'm looking at the scoreboard waiting for it to tell me it's wrong. It's not. Old Ignatians lead Salisbury North by 7 points. That would be the biggest upset. And Adelaide Uni just holding off Foss Camden by 10 points. All those games live stream thanks to Filming Footy if you want to have a look around. But we're back underway here. Final quarter with Lockie Gould.
Here we go, the snap inside forward 50. Modbury looking to continue their good afternoon. Ball bouncing, collected on the deck. Modbury charging their way through, but they're stopped off by Edwardstown. There's a good tackle. Umpire says, you're gone. Holding the ball.
It's good. It's good. The person right behind us knew they had to turn around and walk back a bit, so thank you, sir.
He's going to go the way. I believe that's...
That rain is just about to hit Glenelg, which means it ain't far away. Who's got this?
On the approach. Kicks pretty good. He likes it. Gives a double fist as it was a goal to Miller. Joshua Miller, who spent some time in the under-16s at the Dogs, I believe, Phil?
Yes.
And adds his second goal to the scoreboard.
Now, this is the bit. I've done shorthand. I've got here MD under 16.5. What does that mean? I have no idea what MD is. I'm just going to have to go back and check. I can't leave that unsaid.
Okay.
But first goal to Modbury puts this game beyond all reasonable doubt. 8.5 goals, margin back out to 51. You call some footy, I'll work out where he was at.
All right, sounds good to me. Snapping and getting it out. The ball bounces and it's almost collected, but in the end it just bounces on the ground. It's collected, spinning around, give it across. Mitchard's there. The bounce was also cruel as now Edwardstown start to try and charge up the wing. Good tackle. And that one's going to be a free kick.
Guess what MD stood for?
Modbury?
Modbury. What I was pointing out was last year he was playing in the 16.5 year age group for Modbury. So a youngster with some talent. I mentioned before, keep an eye on that name in upcoming seasons.
Meantime, Bassini loads up. Big fly. Pack formed. And it's a good tackle in the end by Schiller. Now, I have teased this story for nearly 2.5
Tell
quarters.
us your story.
So, me and Dad watch a lot of Formula 1, and what they do with the Formula 1 is they've got people about 15 k's out from the circuit that judge the weather in cars.
Oh, yes.
So, I don't know if that's something that we could do, the Adelaide Footy League, get some cars out.
Yeah. Well, I think the way you could do it, the Adelaide Footy League being the size and scope of Adelaide, you could say, is there a footy game on in the Adelaide Footy League 15 minutes away, and have someone there watching the footy letting us know.
Yeah, that could work. Meantime, however, good tackle in the centre of the ground. And we built that story up way too much for actually how good it was.
we might have overcooked it before plating it and handing it for eating. So it is a 51-point margin. We're sitting back a bit mellow and chill about this one because we know who's going to win, so we're looking for other things to bring to you. Edwardstown are 10 points away from their highest score of the season. That would be a win. Could they win 2 quarters in a row? Well, they're trailing 1-0 at the moment. Armat, is he still a chance to kick 3 goals and get that 10? He had 6 in the first half. That's home. Looking for Verity. That's Shaw. It is Shaw. Yeah. Verity was lurking. Just looking for Armat. Is he actually out there?
Oh, they haven't, have they?
I don't see him. Oh, he's on the bench. He's on the bench. There you go. Maybe he's freshening up to come on for a late charge.
Yeah, final 3 minutes, 3 goals in 3 minutes.
That's it. But it's with Shaw, who has won. The former Kookaburra, his first year at the Hawks. Probably 50-degree angle, 25 metres out. Has kicked it to the near side. That's a behind to Modbury. Both sides, kicking for goal has not really been an issue today. We've had 28 goals, 10. You'll take that any day of the week.
Absolutely, you will. Meantime, ball's gone up the line. They're going to just bounce it along the dirt, get it inside, but Schiller was there to stop it. Big fist was coming over the top. It's Mitchard. He's tried hard all day. He might have been held onto there. Umpire said play on. Given across. Miller, he was in all kinds of trouble. Now his teammate in Jarvis, he's in trouble. And it's holding the ball. Dawson. He's going to take the footy.
Yeah, Miller was in trouble. Not half as much as Jarvis ended up being. So another little win to Edwardstown right in front of the balcony crew here. But are enjoying this right now since half time. It's been goal for goal kind of footy. Modbury pretty much had this set up for the win with a 7-2 first quarter. They have it again. High kick. Dare I say it's going to bring some rain soon. Good pick by, I think that was Shaw. Snap around towards Miller, who's taken the grab, and he's going to have to try his best Stevie J impersonation, I think, here. Who's he going to go old school?
You don't see this anymore.
Oh, hello. Oh, no, he's going... Okay, I was about to say. He's too young to know old school. And that's why they love the Stevie J, because it delivers the goal. Miller has 3 in A-grade game number 2. And Modbury kicked their 19th. On the Hahn 0 Ultra Carb scoreboard, the Hawks are 19-8-122. Edwardstown are 10-4-64. The margin is back out to 58 points. We know who's going to win. It's all a case of how much. And will Matt be on, or has he been taken off for a precaution reason? He's standing there. He's not sitting on the bench.
He's pretty desperate to get on.
Yeah, you'd think maybe it's let's spread the load a bit.
Well, the load's very much still in his favour, that's for sure. Ball this time. It was West who got the tap out. Schiller's there. He gives it across. Good tackle laid. And of course, Buckerfield doing the work in the middle. Ball's about to go up again. West taps down. It's Bassini. He goes charging, gives it across. Now he had Mead running for him. Jaden Mead unloads towards the top of the square. Big punch away. Came charging through though and doing some really nice defensive work. In there was Hahn. And he's turned it over right in front of the Hahn Ultra Carb scoreboard.
Yeah, you're getting it. It is 0 Ultra Carbs. We've got to mention it as 0. Not quite into negative yet. But anyway, here's Miller. This time under pressure, forced towards the boundary. Just hand pass into the field of play. It will sit. Oh, I thought it was going to sit. Working hard for it was hearing. In the end, he won't get it. Stewart's kick. A lot of Edwardstown players around the fort of the ball. They'll pick it up eventually, and that was well done by Hopton. Had a runner. They'll clear. They'll probably just have to wait for a moment for some of their players to get downfield, or else it will be a quick turnover. Towards that boundary line in safety, but it's been picked off. Here come Modbury on the counter. It's with Connor Wood.
Wood. Bassini. Ball now. Big fist over the top. Fantastic work. Edwardstown might gain position. It was possession, Dawson, who had the fist. Rams on hands and knees. Ball now as they start to loop it on the outside. Modbury driving forward, chopped off. And it's a fantastic mark in the end by Hopton. Hopton, he turns inside and finds his teammate. Up the line. And Schiller takes a nice mark.
So Schiller, this is usually the kick where they struggle. That's, oh dear, oh dear. And not surprisingly, Modbury at least create the contest, if not the intercept mark. And yeah, if you're going to do those kind of kicks, you have to not airmail it.
Yeah, you have to drill it.
Have to keep it down, because that really was only setting up for the turnover. Edwardstown actually lucky that ended up a stoppage to a certain degree. They'll get the clearance now, and there's another airmail one. And West has those breakfast, lunch and dinner. He kicked 2 goals in the third quarter. Connor Wood sets himself, outmarks his opponent, about 65 out, chooses a hot spot. Llewellyn getting a run up forward. Sounds like Modbury have their coaching staff have decided to move the magnets around a little bit. A few players playing in some different spots in this final quarter.
Yeah, just resting. Of course, 5 minor rounds left before finals. Up the line, nice mark taken in the end. Mays. He's got his name on the score sheet as well. So told to play on, so has to load up, send it towards the wing. There's a pack forming. There's West taking a grab as well. In the end, it would have been marked down as uncontested. Big fly. Punch down. Now they start to just loop up. Tackle laid.
Yeah, those 2 players getting up slowly. Not because I think they're particularly injured. I just think they're just a bit tired. Ahmad is back on. 1 step goes bang towards centre half forward. And he won't get the goal for that. He might get the score assist because Verity has marked
Come on, Leo!
in a high percentage position.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
And when you're dominating, you can do that. He's showing no sign of urgency whatsoever. 10.5 gone. Straight front. Should be academic. And, of course, they're the ones you miss.
Yep.
The ones by the boundary line you slot.
They're the easy ones nowadays.
19-9, 1-2-3. Pretty much been that way for Modbury today. Edwardstown 10-4, 64. On the Hahn, 0. No, Ultra 0 card scoreboard.
Oh, up the line. Almost collected in the end by Buckerfield. Across and now in all kinds of trouble. Fantastic tackle. But he's going to go the way now of Miller. Miller starts, drills it inside forward 50 and the footy's chopped off. And it's a nice mark by Hahn. Hahn across the ground. Finds Hopton. Hopton back to Hahn. Hahn, his kick chopped off, but was able to grab it, nearly paddling it in the end. And he's going to have to settle for a boundary line throw in front of Ashutio.
So it's got kind of dark here. Rain has not arrived as yet. We might just dodge this bullet, Lockie, as we hit 11 minutes 44 on the time clock. There's a number 20 out there, I think changed the jumper with the blood rule. We don't know who he is. He's got a headband. And we can't quite do process of elimination to work it out. Edwardstown player is absolutely collared. The ball bounced back to him. That was Hollyoake. Through the hands of Atkins. Here's our phantom number 20. I know those who know Modbury probably know who he is. Spills to Hahn. He gets another clearance, and he does that well because Edwardstown have a loose player. And a panic of space to work in.
Ball over the top now as Edwardstown come charging in. Up the ground, bouncing footy collected as Schiller. Schiller turns, then gives it across. XL trying to do just that. Slips at the crucial moment. And it is going to end up in the hands as Bassini goes up the line and he finds Ashutio. He goes up the line and has his kick chopped off in the end. Good work there by Hahn. in front of the Han Zero Carb scoreboard. Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard.
That's it. Ultra Zero, which is obviously different than zero. But who are we to argue with marketing? As Dylan Bingos kicks it out to a man in very bright orange boots. Looking and finding Nathan Hearing, who's been really good all day. Here's a chance to slot the Hawks' 20th goal. Is this their highest score, you might well ask? Well, their highest score this season was against Edwardstown, where they kicked 20-14-135. On that day, Edwardstown kicked 3-5-23, which was the lowest score. So not quite there for the highest score, but they're getting in range. If Hearing can slot it.
He's missed.
I'm not sure. They do have a ball boy out the back there. I think it's a fairly forlorn job because it hits the velodrome, it bounces back. Hardly needed.
It's a good job. It's a good gig out there. Ball boy.
Like being ball boy.
Yeah. Long ball. West had it punched out of his hands. Back as they start to link up through the middle of the ground. Mays on the wing now. Edwardstown trying to dance around their opponents. Give him back to Excel. Excel's kick. It might land on the velodrome. No? It seemed to be in.
And it's interesting how they've sort of got the infrastructure around here. You've got plenty of people sitting on the inside. You've got a marquee that obviously isn't pegged into the concrete, held down by weights. And you've got two sort of interchange sheds that are just on the grassy bit. It seems to work. Good to see that they've managed to keep this, because this velodrome, I can tell you, Locke, has been here for about 50 years at least, if not longer. Llewellyn, outside 50, needs a runner. It's our Phantom 20 from 52 out. Spots up Bingos. And much to the disappointment of Ryan Scoville, Bingos will go back and take a shot. This would make it 130, if good, remembering Modbury's highest score is 134. Do note that this quarter, Modbury have kicked 2 goals, 3, and Edwardstown have not kicked a brass razoo so far, let alone a goal or a point. A momentary hush descends on Edwardstown Oval. Bingos comes in, clapped off the boot. And for Bingos, that's his second A-grade goal this season, and for Modbury A-grade. He came from Kersbrook, up in the Hills Footy League. Kersbrook, sort of south of the Barossa.
Oh, yes, cool.
Yeah. And so that's the 20th goal for Modbury. They're 20-10, 130. Edwardstown, after a brilliant third quarter, might have just run out of petrol tickets, 10-4-64.
Yeah, they've got, does seem like they've got no gas left, but still lots of positives to take out of today, I think, for Edwardstown.
Well, that might be the problem. Oh, we won a quarter, that's it, job done. So, we'll see. We'll see. Certainly there's not, body language is a big thing for me, Lockie, a team that's, going to face their 13th straight defeat this season. They're in there, they're having a go, they're chasing hard.
Mitchard, speaking of hard, he was running hard. And over the top, easy ball in Llewellyn.
Yeah, that lacked a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that one probably wasn't great.
Yeah, and that was the debutant in Gurney, who's probably been running around all day. Called up late, first A-grade game without huge notice. I don't know when James Uren became an omission. If you were looking for James Uren, why haven't you called James Uren? Well,
he's not out there.
He was a late omission, so sorry about that. This for the highest score of the Hawks season.
Eyes are there, there's celebrations, it is there. So they do get the highest score of their season. They move to 21-10, 136. It is Edwardstown 10-4-64. And Llewellyn, who's been playing in defence basically all day, strolls forward and kicks a goal.
First goal for the season in his 13th game. Kicked 2 and 21 last year. Played 21 games last year. Named in the best 11 times, just over 50%. Played Sandford League footy for Centrals and Norwood, and there are a lot of other Modbury players. Junior at T2 Gully.
Yes.
They must have an exchange program or something.
A loan almost.
Loan.
Back in. They start to work their way out. Footy towards the top of the 50. Punched away almost at the last second. Back in to win it. Did well, did Miller. Miller up the line. Collected by the Phantom 20 out there.
And again!
Ball's going to get collected, although they left it behind, did Modbury, so now the door's open. Here's Dawson. Dawson, Matt was closing him down. There's a good tackle on Beckham. He's the known 20 out there.
Yeah, we have his number. Interesting decision there to hand pass. If you're in defence and the hand pass is not to a really open player, you've got to kick it for distance. Taken out of bounds by Josh Schiller, right in front of your commentary crew. Hope you're enjoying this one. Filming Footy does Division 2.
Fantastic news.
Division 1 having the week off. Didn't have it last year because we were trying to adjust to this thing called a gather round. Managed to work it out this year. Gather round a little bit later next year, so not quite sure. With a late Easter, not quite sure. But what the Div 1 off means that we go back to our staggered men's grand finals. Div 1 early September. Div 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, I think it's September 15, and the A grade September 22. So the Division 1 September 22. And how did Div 1 finish a week later? Because they have today off.
And mid-season bye for all those teams that are in the top flight. Ball back down. Collected. Cassini did a good job, but over the boundary line it goes.
When the siren goes, we don't have a lot of time. We'll try and get a couple of score updates because there are some other exciting games. Next week, Flinders Park host Athelston. That will be two finalists probably doing battle. Rocks host Adelaide Uni. Modbury, get behind your boys at home against the Goodwood Saints. A chance pretty much to lock up a finals berth. Foss are hosting Old Ignatians. And for Edwardstown, you're on the road to Salisbury North.
That's quite a long drive up there. Llewellyn, back where he does his best work in the defensive end, was able to step round his opponent. Now the ball's in the hands of Holm. I
wonder if that was sort of, we're going to send you up forward so you kick a goal.
Yeah.
And as soon as you kick the goal, we're going to send you back again.
Get back home, son. Up the line. It was just leading hard, was hearing. As inside he goes. Ball towards the target in Shaw, and Shaw takes a fantastic grab. He's going to turn inside, he's going to drill the footy, and it's going to get chopped off. Edwardstown relieving mark.
Yeah, they're a bit disappointing. They've gone 20 and a half minutes and haven't scored in this quarter. That's Mitchard with the smother. Can they convert into something? That's a very high kick that won't score anything. Matt's lurking, can't mark, tried to run interference on Spilsbury, but Spilsbury, he's one of the cleanest markers I've seen.
Yeah, he does a really good job, despite his namesake.
Yeah, he's done it well. That should be hard. I know him just by looking at him now. He's had so much of the footy. And a nice little grab by Angus Miller, who's had a tough day. I mean, if you're wearing 60s, you're probably not expected to play much league footy. He was playing under 17s for Edwardstown last year.
And he's limping now.
And he's limping, so he's going to feel that. Get him in the ice bath pretty quickly in about 10 minutes' time, I reckon.
Yeah, he's going to stay on, it looks like. He's running away from the bench.
And interesting that I'm just looking at their main goal scorer for Edwardstown in Holiday. He's on the bench with some strapping around his calf. So, and he's going to get something up in the hammies as well. So
that's not good news.
That's not a good sign.
So we don't have a boundary
coming back
rider?
From not playing last week, I suggest the possibility of that being something recurring.
Well, we certainly hope it's not.
At a guess. We're only guessing. We're spitballing.
Of course we are only guessing, but if those kind of, hamstring injuries, those tissue injuries, they do have a higher chance of reoccurring. I mean, we see it all the time in league footy and of course, up the divisions as well.
Next week, Div 1 is back. Games in Div 1 that will be streamed on Filming Footy. Glenunga and Tea Tree Gully. Can the Rams go 14 and zip? Tea Tree Gully in a bit of, well, not in strife, but, well, actually they're in a bit of strife because they've gone from being in the 5 to being just out of relegation. Port District in Prince Alfred will always be interesting. Port District's really good effort at Glenunga last week.
Just before you go on, I just want to highlight the defensive prowess of Schiller to get across, provide a big fist. His team's out of the game, but it's just fantastic to see them still trying Edwardstown.
Absolutely. Brighton host Sacred Heart in the Battle of Brighton Road. Forget ladder positions Plenty of Sacred Heart old collegians who play juniors at Brighton. St Peter's and Paynham. St Peter's really need a win. And our stream team game is going to be a cracker. If that misses the target of our mat. Broadview and Golden Grove. One's in the 5, one's just out of it. The winner of that one at Broadview will be in the Div 1 top 5 next Saturday night. All that to look forward to. YouTube, check out Filming Footy Adelaide Footy League.
I absolutely cannot wait for next Saturday as the ball is just being passed around at the back. And I'm pretty sure that game, as you mentioned, we're going to Golden Grove 2 weeks from now. We've got Adam Jeffries back, don't we?
We do have Adam back at some point. We do.
All
Bringing
down.
the football expertise. Should also mention, one last time, all the great sponsors of the Modbury Hawks, DVC Projects, Mawson Lakes Mazda, Zoom Zoom, Modbury Hotel, and Pronto United Finance. Modbury thank them, we thank them for their support, and they've helped as well bring this stream to life for you this afternoon.
They've done a fantastic job, massive thank you. There's a little bit of confusion out there, not sure where that football's going. It's going back to the mystery man, number 20. So, we apologise to him, we just can't work out who he is. We didn't see the jumper change. Ball at the back, Shaw takes a nice mark.
Just having a look around the other grounds. 20-minute mark at Karen Rolton.
Given across, and a very nice goal as well. That's fantastic work from the Modbury Hawks. They're sharing it around out there now. Lots of hugs, lots of high fives.
Who did they give it to?
And that is the million-dollar question. Just waiting for him to turn around. And it's gone the way of Wyatt Pacini.
That is... I know why. That is his first goal for Modbury A grade. So there were 3 players who have not kicked a goal for Modbury A grade coming into this game. Wyatt Pisani, who's kicked 1, Dale Holm, who's kicked 2, and Jack Mitchard, who's been very busy but hasn't kicked a goal yet. That is Modbury's highest score by some way, 22-11, 143. The Towns 10-4, 64. Looking at the moment like they're not going to get their highest score of the season. Can just feel a little bit of rain about, certainly not going to have an effect on us or the game, because I reckon we've got about 3 minutes at most on air. Of game time, and maybe 5 or 6 on air.
Ball towards the top of the forward 50 line. It's a fantastic mark. It was Shaw who came out and took it. Shaw then turns inside. And he's found Hearing. Hearing waits. He's got a lead. It is gone past the head of Armand towards Verity. He dropped it. It was now linking up, and there it is. The final siren goes. It's Modbury. They get a nice, handy win. 22-11, 143. Edwardstown, well, they had their moments, but it wasn't to be as their season of struggle continues. 10-4, 64. It's a margin of 81 points, Phil Hurden.
Goal scorers, Malachi Armat, 7 goals. I think he had all 7 in the first half. 3 goals to Josh Miller, 3 goals to Liam Verity, 2 goals to Jake West and to Dale Holm. Singles to Connor Wood, Dylan Bingos, Ryan Llewellyn and Braden Shaw. For Edwardstown, 5 goals to Josh Holiday of the 10. Singles to Jack Horgan, Josh Hollyoak, Ryan Scoville, Bradley Knowles and Xavier Mays. There are other games continuing. YouTube Filming Footy, we've seemed to have been one of the earlier finishers. Encourage you to get around. Full results tomorrow in the Sunday Mail. Also Phil's weekend wrap, which I'll be doing. Should be on air about 4 o'clock or there, so on the Adelaide Footy League Facebook page. Lockie, some final thoughts and words of wisdom on today?
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, Edwardstown, they were really good in that third quarter, I thought. They won the quarter, granted by 1 point, but they still won the quarter. It doesn't matter at the end of the day towards the final result. But a positive to take and Modbury absolutely dominant. That final quarter was a display in how to play football, to be honest. They were absolutely flawless, kept Edwardstown scoreless in the final quarter. Also, one thing I learnt is I need to go back to school because that margin's 79 points, not 81.
Yeah, no, I understand how you can do that. Our sponsors, Archie's Footwear, Belgravia Apparel, New Balance. I'm going quick because I can feel some rain. Nearmouth Mouthguards, Hahn, Ultra Zero Carbs for the scoreboard, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, Farmers Leap Winery, Police Credit Union, Dartfish Footy Stats, and the Mosley Bar and Kitchen. I'm Phil Herden on behalf of Lockie Gould and Harry, our wonderful cameraman, saying thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week from Broadview for Div 1 action. You've been watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.